While not all business analysis work takes place in a project, if you're in a business analyst type of role, you're definitely going to spend some time working on specific projects. Find out how you should answer questions about these projects during your next interview for a business analyst position. I'm Jen with the Career Force. We help smart, career-minded people stand out in today's job market. For more career information, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you're the first to find out when we post new videos every week. There are a few different scenarios you should be prepared to talk about in any BA interview. The first, make sure you can talk about a very recent project, ideally your last project that you were working on or even one that you're currently working on. Also, second, be prepared to talk about some project that didn't go well, whether it was successful at the end but a disaster the whole way through, or vice versa. It went smoothly but didn't end up working out. Be prepared to talk about that. And third, a project that went extremely well, that even exceeded expectations for what you thought could be accomplished or what the business was expecting to be accomplished. There can be some overlap. Maybe that most successful project is also your most recent, or the worst project is the most recent. But these are questions, these are scenarios that you'll often get questions about. So being prepared to talk about them will make you much more comfortable when you're asked questions. Prepare a few scenarios around these. So take some time to write down notes about what happened in each of these three projects. Think about what were the business expectations? What were the systems or tools that you used? Especially if they're more unique systems or softwares that may be of interest to the company you're applying to or the role you're applying to, it's helpful to mention these when you get asked about them during the interview. Talk about the team. Were you a one-person team? Likely not. You were probably part of a larger group. But when I say a larger group, were there 3 people on the project team or were there 50 people? What was your role? Were you just doing business analysis or were you also one of the project leaders? This is helpful information that you'll want to be able to talk about when you're in your BA interview. Also think about who the client was, even if it's an internal client, and some of the project pain points. What problems were you trying to eliminate by performing the work that you did in this project? While you're not going to have all of these notes in front of you during the interview, making a list ahead of time and being able to study it can help jog your memory so that you're in a good headspace to remember all of the points that you want to mention when you are in the interview. Now, when it comes to specifically talking about projects, especially if you get general questions about a project, or even if you get a specific scenario question, can you tell me about a time in a project where you needed to assert some influence over people that you weren't directly responsible for? All of these questions are great to answer with the STAR interview model. So with the STAR model, you talk about the situation, the task, the action, and the result. Going through this flow helps give you a structure to your answer and helps make sure that it has all of the information the interviewer needs when you're responding. So let's look a little more at the STAR model. First, the situation. What was the situation that you were in? And so here you could talk about the client and describe what was the background for starting the project that you're working on as a business analyst. Think about 2 to 3 sentences to summarize the situation. You want enough context so that it's clear to your interviewer, but you don't want to talk too long about this section. Next, talk about the task. So here's a great place to bring up pain points. What were problems that you were trying to solve for people? What were you trying to accomplish out of this entire project or different circumstances where you needed to perform analysis work? Again, keep this to about 2 to 3 sentences, enough for context, but don't talk too long. Now, it's time to talk about the action, and this is really where the heart of your answer is going to be because it's really talking about what you personally did to influence the situation and to accomplish the task. So talk about the processes you used, how you were able to use your business analysis knowledge to perform good analysis. What did the insights that you gathered or came to the realization about, how did they help solve this entire task that you were trying to achieve? So here, I would say about 75% of your answer should be spent in this action section. This could mean that you're talking for 6, 8, 10 sentences in this area. You want to keep it fairly brief, but with enough detail for the interviewer to really understand you. The reason you don't want to go too long is that you don't want to really ramble on so you lose the interviewer's interest. So keep it short, but spend the bulk of your time in this area. Lastly, talk about the result. How did the project turn out? Were you able to solve those pain points that the client was having? Was the client happy with the result? Or maybe the results of all your analysis and inputs were that what needed to be accomplished or what someone wanted to accomplish wasn't possible or needed to be done in a different way than everyone expected. So talk about that outcome and how it was a success or not, and if it wasn't, what did you learn from it? So I hope these points help you answer any questions you get during your next interview for a business analyst position. While project questions aren't going to be the only ones you get, you'll certainly expect those when you go into your interview. If you want more help navigating the entire job search process, I've put together a cheat sheet with all the critical pieces of information that you need to know to land your next job. I've put a link in the description box so that you can get your copy today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.